You've been messing about. Hello and welcome to the regular Sunday edition of Spurs Diehards TTID, Tottenham Till I Die. Tonight's topic is the game played earlier today, and I've got two good guests for you. As usual, we've got a friend of the show, Alan Radok-Nasnis. Here's his link for you all to go to and join, for those of you watching on playback. And we've also got Josh Sharabi. Oops, what am I doing on that? That's wrong. Right, we was found here. Right, so we will post these in the middle of the show and at the end as well, so as you know where to find these guys and go and subscribe to them. Okay. So today, as we're saying, this is what we're up for: post-match Spurs versus Fulham game debate. Only one piece of information before we get straight into it, and that is the fact that Solanke was sent home sick this morning. He turned up, but obviously he's not well, so he should be well for Thursday, right? So
hopefully,
yeah. So we move on. Squad rotation, Alan, was you surprised by the squad? I think everyone was at the stadium. Was you surprised by the team selection?
Other than Solanke not being there because of the illness, which was last minute, I'm not surprised because he's got to rotate the squad a little bit, and we knew that our depth is thin. So I'm not surprised. I'm actually a little surprised that he didn't start more of the youth, to be honest. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that he sat the youth against Fulham, because Fulham is a good team. And I wanted us to present the strongest front that we could.
Josh, your take on the team selection?
Well, I mean, I when I did my predictions on the lineups, I thought Kulusevski had to start in this game, specifically on the fact that Johnson on that right-hand side wouldn't get as much joy as he would usually, just due to the fact that Robinson can outpace him or can match his pace. But I think Kulusevski 100% should have started. Obviously I was surprised that Dominic wasn't starting, but due to the illness that you said, overall, let's be honest, this was probably the starting 11 everyone expected, except for personally for that Kulusevski.
Mark, I know you struggled to watch the first half, but when you see the team selection, was you surprised by it?
Well, it's like everyone said, apart from Solanke, who's obviously ill. I mean, I wasn't surprised that Kulu was left out, because, you know, you can't keep playing him every 3 days. He's going to burn out, isn't he? So, you know, it wasn't a shock. You know, basically that's all we got on it. You know,
pretty much.
Right. Shall I go through the chat quickly? Say hello to a few people.
Say hello to all the chats, then we'll get into the
Graham.
Good evening,
Graham. Yeah, Nita,
regular.
Good evening. Yes, and it's just Graham and Graham saying hello to Nita, and Nita saying hello to Graham.
Yeah, we've got 8 or 9. Oh, hello, Brian. All right.
Welcome. Oh, Brian.
Mm-hmm. What's up, people? So, listen, Adrian, Mark gave me the link a couple of days ago.
That's fine.
gate crash the show.
No, you're welcome. It's all right.
I've just come on to say one thing and one thing only. I'll let the four of you get back to the show. Mark knows what I'm going to say because I put it in the Tottenham on Tour group chat. This fan base of this football club have been so taken over by wanting to bitch and moan at each other, abuse each other, say, I'm right, you're wrong, you're toxic, you're negative, you're positive, you're deluded, you're a happy clapper, we have become a football club that cares more about bitching and arguing on social media, YouTube chats, and anything than actually wanting success at this football club and putting pressure on board, on the managers that we have had, past and present, the players, the wage bill, everything. This football club is rancid from the top down, and the fan base that give it all this on social media and YouTube chats and wherever. I want the manager out. I want the manager out. Or do you? Well, why when you're in that ground, are you not saying Ange out? Because you're weak. Because you won't do anything about it. You accept it for the experience, the day out. When myself and Levy Out people tried to get change, we did what we said what we did. We got the abuse. We got the moaning. We got this. Do I want Ange out? Hell no. I don't want him out. But why do this fan base feel the need to take it out on each other? You can't even debate with each other anymore.
I think
Ben Kaufman is in this chat right now.
Yeah.
Someone who is a brother to me. Someone I would take a bullet for. Someone that if he needed me, I'll be on the next flight over. He is very much Ange out. I am very much Ange in. Ben and I will discuss this rationally, calmly, respectfully. No problems whatsoever. There are people that I speak to that are the exact opposite of me when it comes to the ownership. Respectively, politely, and calmly. But no. We have this fucking fan base across the world, because it is across the world. And when I say these fans that don't do anything, I'm talking about the ones that go to the match, where real pressure could be put on if you want a manager out. Why do you give it all this on social media or in chats, but as soon as you're in that Levy bowl, silence. And then you get out of the fucking stadium. Oh, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? Why did he do this? Why did he do that? Oh, it's embarrassing. Well, say something. Do something. You got the guts to do it. I wanted the owners out. People wanted the owners out. We tried. Did we fail in some way in trying to include people and get more people involved? Do I have to hold myself accountable for my actions when I was doing Levy Out? Still Levy Out? Yes, I do. But I never, ever called a fan out individually. I never, ever went for people personally. It was a collective. Do people agree with the way we conducted ourselves in some ways? Probably not on social media. But did I say I'd be at a training ground with Ryan and Graham at 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. for 16 days in a transfer window? Yes, I did. Did I turn up for 16 days and take the abuse, take the hits, take it? Yes, I did. Fans asked for us to do something outside the stadium. Did we do it? Yes, we did. Did the 62,500 people that go there who want change, or whatever percentage in there that want change, come and help, support, do something? No. But we get out and it's wait. This club is rancid from the top down, and the fan base are weak upwards because there's no accountability for this football club. Shit perform. The players today, body language, shambolic. Injuries, but we've got a really strong squad. There's nothing. There's no accountable for the players. They're crybaby bitches, as I've said. People go in the reserve or or the backups aren't not good enough. If it weren't for Foster and Davies and Dragushin today, and Dragushin is a bit part player, we would have lost that game. The reserves are coming on and giving more passion than the first teamers. People bitch and moan about Solanke. Doesn't score goals, doesn't do... You take his work out of this team, and Kulusevski, who was rested for whatever, where was the work rate in that team today? Who's doing the donkey work? No one. But is there any accountability in this football club? No, not for the players, not for the manager, who has to take criticism at times, and I'll give him criticism, but I want him to do better. But every single manager that comes to this football club is doomed for failure the second they sign their contract because of that bastard at the top. And it will continue to happen until this fan base, the match day going fan base, grow a fucking spine, grow a backbone, and finally say, whether it be a player, whether it be a manager, whether it be an owner, grow a fucking backbone and stop bitching on Twitter and stop going at fans for the other direction. And it's on both sides. It's on both sides. You bitch and moan and abuse each other all week on Twitter behind fake accounts or whatever. This one don't do enough. That one does too little. Why don't they say something? Why don't they do something? I've had 17 messages in the last 2 weeks. Daigle, you and your group have got to stop. Or not my group, the group I pro. You've got to get back on that high road again. You've got... Oh, do we? Do we? Why should we? We put everything on a plate for you. You did. How about you start something? This fan base goes this club goes nowhere with this weak fan base and this owner that has made this club rancid from top to bottom. And so I didn't even mean to go on a rant that long.
No, that's okay. Stick around for the show. I mean, like, to me, I just think there's a diverse demographics with our fan base, Brian. Those that go to games can afford to go to games. Those that don't, those that watch from TV, that subscribe to different pay-per-view channels, things like that. It's very diverse, and it's hard to fathom out where they're from. Then you've got those that are on XCOM, those that are on Facebook. It is very diverse, you know. And at the stadium, you know, and there's a difference. And I've noticed that. I mean, I'm like you. I want Ange in. I'm fully Ange in because I don't want to go through the rinse and repeat. But I've stood over on. I met you at one protest once. I wouldn't say Levy doesn't live in my head like he may live in yours. I don't know if he does or not. But I mean, like, I'm not as ardent about it as you because I adopt a more practical, pragmatic approach to things, right? But so like, and you got to be realistic. I mean, the realistic stuff's coming out in your frustration, what you know, your little rant there. But you're welcome to stay with us. I mean,
I'll stay for a few more minutes. I'm spending time. Today is time I'm spending with
okay,
Alana.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I moved to Canada.
I mean,
Scotland,
okay.
I've had a good
I was going to say, I thought you were taking your beautiful wife out.
No, well, we were going to do something, but she hasn't been feeling well the last couple of days, so we're chilling at home. But yeah, it's time to spend with her. I just wanted to cut because do you know what? I'm just sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
Loads of these fan base want change, whether it be manager, whether it be owner, whatever it may be, but no one is prepared to do it. It's all let's talk and moan and argue and call each other out, call you a CUNT, call you a wanker, a happy clapper, a toxic, but they won't do anything. They don't do anything. All they do now is that this football club has become so tapped and so brainwashed and so we care more about arguing with each other and defending what is going on in this football club, and that has been going on. Someone comes out about Levy. Oh yeah, but he got us a new stadium, and yeah, well look at this. We're the third richest club. Yeah, well, you come out more. You're more worried about defending him than saying, do you know what, Daniel? Do you know what, owners? This is a football club that used to win at least a trophy every decade, if not two. That used to challenge for things. When you drew Tottenham Hotspur in the FA Cup until our last win in the 1991 Cup final, you got Spurs in the FA Cup. Every team thought, shit, we got Tottenham Hotspur. The team you don't want to play in this cup. Now you get Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah. Well, there is no want for winning things. There's no want for regularly challenging. Because we're too busy because of this goddamn owner and everything he does. It's become a football club where it doesn't matter about what goes on the pitch. I'm going to be proven right on social media. I'm going to be proven right because I know best. And like I said, I will hold myself accountable for the things I've done in the past. And I have changed my tact to be more approachable, to be more balanced, to be more rational, to talk with people rather than getting you're an idiot. I don't do that. Never have with the next. But we have got to a part with this football club where winning on the pitch and bringing glory to this club is second to be wanting to be on any social media and going, I was right, you're wrong, you're negative, I'm toxic, you're positive, you're a happy clapper. No, he's a good player. No, he's a bad player. Brennan Johnson, the latest line I'm hearing, Brennan Johnson, all he does is score goals. What else does he do? What does that even mean? The guy is scoring goals. The game is about scoring goals. But now we're criticising a player because all he does is score goals. What have we become as a fan base? Forget what we have become as a football club. What are we as a fan base? It's like two political parties that just want to go head to head and screw the country over. No matter what country in the world. Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're two political parties that want to screw each other over and not give a fuck what the bigger problem is. And this football club will carry on like this until the fan base unite, however it may be, and say, right, do you know what? Screw your go-karts, screw your NFL, screw your fucking partners, screw all this. I'm going to leave with one thing. We moved to this stadium because we needed to move to a bigger stadium to attract the bigger players and pay the bigger wages. So why is it 5 years into this stadium? Yes, we have the debt to pay. All your season tickets have gone up. Memberships have gone up. Ticket prices have gone up. The blooming Save Our Seniors are getting eradicated. Our history is being removed. Merchandise has gone up. Food and drink has gone up. Everything has gone up apart from the one thing that this stadium was meant to do. Bring the better players and pay the better wages. But we all go, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because every penny goes back into the club. Wake up. Everything goes up, but the one reason we moved to this stadium is going down. Go figure. And I will leave and let you go. I didn't mean to come on and take over the show. I'm just fucking furious at this football club. It's not a football club anymore. We're not a football club. We're two political parties that want to bitch and moan at each other as a fan base. And we are an entertainment business and property portfolio that play football as a side hustle. And I'm going to leave it there before I blow a gasket and do something stupid. So I will say, Adrian, sorry for taking over the show.
You're always welcome in the show, Brian. You're always
Josh,
welcome.
love you. Alan, love you. Everyone in the chat,
Love you, dude.
Love me or not.
Brian,
Yeah,
Brian, you're like a brother.
damn right. Say straight back at you, Sheriff. And I will say, and as always, Levy out.
Right. On the squad rotation, my take, right? You had your take on it. We go back to that. I mean, like, I hope Brian feels better after getting it off his chest. The substitutes, I should have put them up actually because that interested me. I saw regular on the substitutes bench.
I did too, yes.
And to me, and that what sent an alarm bell going off in my head. Not because he was on the bench, because now I'm thinking, is you doggy fit or not? And who have we got as real cover to come on then? We know Gray's played at left back, but that's in Europe, not in the Premier League game, right? So I started thinking, is Udogie still carrying a knock? Because there's a few things not right with this team, fitness levels and other levels as well, right? But we'll get into them, yeah. So look at them subs, a couple of kids on there. That tells you, one, we do lack quality of squad depth when we get hit. I mean, look, any team that loses its best two centre backs and its best goalkeeper, you know, is going to have to like work even harder. You know, it's not insurmountable, but they just keep working hard. It's like what this team's got to do now. They just got to keep working harder on the training ground, keep working, you know, without overdoing it. Right. So I don't know about the other subs. I mean, Bergvall we expect, Gray we expect. All right, we knew that. As a strike force Lancashire, I actually thought if you know that maybe he would have come on a bit earlier myself, because I thought like we Son, it either works with Son through the middle or it doesn't. It changed when Decky came on because he went through the middle instead, you know. But we'll move on to the game itself then. Alan, should Sonny have scored this? Would a prime Son have scored this chance? Do you remember the chance in the penalty right in the first minute, virtually? Yeah.
Yep. Yes. I think Werner put in a very good cross, and I think that was the moment that Son should have scored, because Son is a caliber of player that we expect should be scoring those kinds of goals. So those are meat and drink for him, right? That should be simple, very easy, and he flubbed it, which I guess we could have taken as a bad omen or, you know, ill portent, because he was pretty much absent the entire game. But yeah, that first one he should definitely have put in.
Josh, do you agree?
100%. But I'll be completely honest with you. I wasn't that surprised. I mean, yeah, obviously I was upset that he didn't score. I was upset. But was I surprised that he didn't score? Not really. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get onto the Son debate much later in the live stream. But I mean, it's happened time before. He's missed these one-on-one chances. It wasn't really a one-on-one. It was just a very big chance of him. So no, I'm not really surprised. But I'm upset. Yeah.
As Mark, you didn't see the first half, so I want to come to.
No. I was going to say anything to do with the first half, Adrian. You just want to gloss over, or just miss the
game. I mean, I'm going on the eye test anyway, and I just got a glimpse of the 3-minute highlights when I got in from the game, you know. But you know, I mean, the overall, Fulham were the better team over the 90 minutes, without a shadow of a doubt. And although they pressed us, some of their defending was very good. The blocks and the blocks, and we gave quite a few corners away. We blocked it near. I mean, Forster was good with the saves he had to make. I mean, like their first chance, Alan, came to the Jimenez chance.
Yep.
Good save, and it was a good-handed save to his right, low. You know, it was low. It wasn't ground low, but it was low, a couple of feet off the ground or whatever it was like.
If I can just jump in quickly, I will say about Forster. How good does he look when a corner comes in and he comes out and claims it?
We're going to go through every player later on through the chat, Mark. Yeah.
Right.
I want to go through points first, because going through individual performances is very important. This is why we're failing here, right? In my opinion.
Yeah, no. I was just saying.
I've all got firm opinions of it.
Yeah.
So, good save low to the right, Josh. Yeah.
100% easy. Yeah. I mean, not easy. I mean, 100% great save. And you know what? I am surprised he got to it. He moved so fast. I've never seen his legs move that fast before in my life. His legs moves fast, which allowed his body to get down to the floor as fast as possible. I think it was a great chance and brilliant save from Keeps.
I mean, the stats will show that like Fulham had X amount of shots and Spurs might have had, but actually there wasn't. A lot of these shots that happened were actually blocked anyway, weren't they? I mean, like they weren't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought on the eye test, Fulham were better than us, right? They wanted it more. But they won the midfield battle, which we'll come on to later when we discuss players. And then Then Maddison probably did his best, cleverest thing during the game. You go first on this one, Josh. The free kick hits the post after the Fulham defensive wall jumped. He actually waited for the wall to jump. I thought, a footballer using his brain. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what. I was 100% sure he was going to score that free kick. I don't know why. I thought he was going to score that free kick after the last one he converted. But you know what? Fair play to him. And you know what? Pedro Porro could have taken it. But of course, Maddison, brilliant free kick. Just unlucky to get that deflection, which could have given us the win. Could have.
Alan, it was a clever free kick, wasn't it? I mean, like
It was. I think they lined up in a way to try to minimize the chances of him putting that ball in. Of course, they probably watched what we watched, where he put that beautiful shot in. What was it, against Aston Villa? And
and they didn't put a corpse on the floor, which some teams do. They have some guy lying on the floor, don't they?
Yeah.
Stop that from happening.
Sometimes
It's
exactly. They didn't in that case, and he took advantage. I thought it went in initially from the angle that we had viewing. I thought it had gone in, so I started cheering and then realized it had gone out. But yeah, beautiful shot. Maddison is made for stuff like that. Those free kicks. He's a master at those.
Yeah. So, moving on before we get down to individual players. This was a nice move for the goal. Son to Maddison, to give it to Werner, and it was more of a looping chip of a ball. I mean, I've been wrong about Johnson. I didn't want him at the club when he first came. I looked at videos.
Hang on a minute.
I've really warmed to this guy because I've seen him the finish of Coventry away in the League Cup, and when he was under all that pressure from social media and all that, I thought was excellent. And I've seen him finish a couple, because I was probably put off like other Spurs fans when he was blasted a few over the bar from close range last season. You know what I mean? And so, but now I see. And Ange said he can finish. And I think, yeah, the kid can finish. It's not just that. You've got to get into the positions to do it. So that shows some intelligent awareness as well. So I'm impressed with. And now that he's got 9, is it, or 10? I know he's got 10.
I think you're right. It's either 9 or 10.
I think he's got 6 league goals now and 4 cup goals. Yeah, that's it. Which is the basic quota for a winger. If you got 1 in 4 and you're playing 40 goals a season, he's already got his goal quota for the season.
Yeah.
He may end up with 15 or 20. That would be something, wouldn't it?
The comments there, Adrian.
I don't care if they're tap-ins, right? I don't care. Sorry,
the comments there at the bottom, Adrian. The comments there, I brought it up.
Oh, JDL Johnson Defence League.
Yes. And yes, I did put that in the chat. Seeing as I am the...
It was a good ball, and actually Werner, he wasn't the worst out there today, right? Let's be fair to him.
No,
things okay.
He did okay. He has the pace, and now it seems like he's getting better with his crosses. He was doing well last game too for crosses. It was a beautiful goal, chipped. It was the way he did it. Put it right over the guy. The defender is perfect. Perfect.
I mean, fans come away pissed off. I'm disappointed as well. I'm at the game, but we defended well today, actually. But then we do this. Cairney scores. If you go and look at any still, we've got 8 players in the penalty area. 8 players, and we couldn't. For all the good work we did, we put. Which credit to the players, lots of blocks, lots of last-ditch tackles, nipping the ball off them. All that was good, even though we seemed to be on the back foot against them. And then we go and concede a goal like that, you know?
But the amount of times this season that we've conceded that goal.
Was it from outside the box?
No, from inside the box.
He was inside.
He was inside the box?
I mean,
yeah, he was just inside the box and he smashed it and it curved away from Falstaff.
That's exactly the problem with Tottenham Hotspur this season. The amount of goals we've conceded from that situation. I mean, in my match preview, I identified that exact same thing that happened, and I knew that was going to happen. The ball comes in, and it's a little cutback that whoever the two central midfielders are, they usually have a problem with that. They usually have a problem with they don't know who to mark. Whether it's Basuma coming in, he doesn't know if to go close to the post or to mark the player who's about to take the shot. And then if it's Pape Sarr, they don't know where to position themselves in that area. And in that aspect, I blame Ange for for just the placement of the players. They're not understanding where to be on the field. And it's not, if it's a one time or twice it's happened, fine, I understand. But we concede so many goals like that. It's incredible. And then to on the counter to that, when we're in that kind of situation, we're not doing that. We're not capitalizing on it. When we're in that situation, we're not capitalizing on that. So we're basically defending absolutely no one in the box, okay? Because like we just said, there's 8 players in the box. About 6 of them were on that line, on that defense-shaped line. And then we got about 2 of them inside that box trying to mark the outside. That's the problem.
Alan, your take on the goal we conceded? They were spread, the players in the box. They sort of weren't all in a line. They were like a 3-3-3. There was a cluster. They were a cluster, really easy way to describe it, really.
You know, the way it seems when we play the high line, which we did today, it seems like we have the it's about getting players back in the box, and then that's where the strategy ends. But players in the box does not equate to coverage, the correct coverage. And it certainly doesn't equate to keeping the ball out of the net, because we saw it today. All credit to Cairney. What a shot that was. Beautiful shot in. Again, with a diminished squad, we're going to see stuff like that. We just are. But what I will say is, I guess, just about the rest of the game, Ben Davies, to me, was a standout player, looking like he got into a pub scrap before the game with the black eye and everything. He just put his heart and soul into it today. And it's unfortunate, that we, in that one moment, kind of dropped the ball, so to speak. It's because I feel for the guy, him and Dragic, I think they were blocking balls. They were trying. It looked like the goal was do everything you can so that Forster doesn't have to do anything, because they were blocking shots. I've never seen shots blocked like that before from our squad. They were blocking everything. Yeah. Forster didn't have to do too much. This was just one where, again, I think as you were saying, Basuma doesn't know where to go, and we should have been marking Cairney, and we didn't, and he punished us for it.
I mean, I think I walked away from the stadium. I mean, I think I must have been suffering from a bit of perception deception, as I call it, right? Because I'm thinking there are a lot more chances in that game clear cut than there actually was. But when I watched the highlights for only 3 minutes, there wasn't because they didn't show a lot of the blocks and the tackles and things like that, which is what showed Fulham to be better than us on the day. But moving on to that, Josh, Cairney gets a goal, then he gets sent off a dangerous play. What's your take on the tackle?
A completely red card. We all knew it was going to be a red card. Look, to be fair though, at the beginning, I didn't think it was a red card. I thought it was a good tactical, foul. No, because I didn't see the tackle. All I saw was Kulusevski just falling down. But then when Maddison ran over, I knew it was a bit more than that. Obviously, you looked at the VAR straight. Obviously, it was a red card. Very stupid tackle. But
it's a leg breaker.
And then from then it's you know what? To be fair, I think his name is Lukic. I think or Lukic or whatever his name is. He should have been on the red card. Yeah,
He got a
Lukic,
yellow. He got a yellow.
he should have been sent off though. They should have been down to 10 men much earlier in the game. They were giving away fouls left, right, and centre. And look, it was about time we went down to 10 men, but it didn't really help. It didn't really help. We were still unable to beat them.
Alan, your
I
take
think
on it, and what we see a lot of in the Premier League, a lot of tackles on behind aren't getting the yellow card they're supposed to get.
Oh, well, yeah. So I when I saw it initially from the angle that we get, it just looks like Kulusevski falls down. But then when they slow it down and they show it from other angles, you see it looked like, I mean, it was a leg breaker. He grabbed a hold of Kulusevski, pulled him down, and then stepped on his, what looked like his calf maybe, or his, but it looked bad to me. And I agree with the red card. What I will say about our play, we didn't take advantage of the man advantage that we had.
Yeah.
They played. I thought there was a.
Yeah.
I thought they had 13 men on the pitch, the way they were playing and the way we were making them play. We never took advantage. It was an advantage to be taken, and we didn't take it, unfortunately.
Mark, your take on the sending off?
No. I was obviously watching. I could actually find a stream to watch it on by then, and it was one of them. It looks worse when it's slowed down. Yes.
It did
Yes.
look slowed down.
Yes.
The
Yes.
crowd groaned at the stadium when I watched it on the TV screen.
Yes. 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 He caught
They're
him on
waving
the.
him cheerio, cheerio, cheerio. Like, you know.
Yeah. Yes. 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 He made. Yes. He went down the back of his calf. Was it intentional? No, I don't believe it was. Right, because there was no force in it. If he'd wanted to break his leg, he would have broke his leg. But to me, it was one of them. As soon as, well, you know as well as I do, as soon as the ref gets sent to the screen, he's going to change his mind and send him off. But I thought it was a little bit harsh. To be honest.
But don't you think that someone who's trying to stop an attack, yeah, there's a way to stop an attack. Yeah, clip its leg or whatever. But to go studs up straight on the calves,
Yeah. But
that's a red
I mean,
card
you can
offence,
get
and you
sent
know
off
that
a
if it
match
would happen to
less.
Tottenham, it would happen a red card. Pardon?
there was no malice in it, though. We'll say he didn't. You know what I mean?
Stopping an attack with studs up straight on the calf.
Well, yeah. I can understand why you got.
I mean,
I can understand why you got sent off.
if you go back to the Karabag game when Dragusin did get sent off, it was a much less of an offence, but he was last man, right? And the foul and he goes. You don't have to be, you don't have to have malicious intent or being.
No. I agree. And I did say I can see why he did get sent off, but to me it was a little bit soft. But he got sent off. He probably deserved it. But to me, it was.
Mate, no one here has said Fulham weren't better than us today. We all think we all know Fulham were better.
Oh no, the Fulham were definitely the better side from start to finish.
And this is another comment I agree with as well. Now, where the hell was it?
There was a challenge on Son and there was a challenge on Madison. I thought that was worse than what Kulusevski had. But
This one. Here we go. I think Silva watched Roma game and adjusted accordingly. He exploited the wide areas. I noticed that. I noticed that.
How many times was any of you? I know I was screaming at the TV to Dogi to watch its man, watch his man. That's a problem with Tottenham Hotspur. I feel like the way to exploit us, the way to exploit us is to get that midfield. Whether it's Iwobi, Emil Smith Rowe, to get them placing balls wing to wing. We don't like that. We hate that. Tottenham Hotspur, they need to adjust their wing backs to get them to to be more composed on the ball. Number one, get possession based football, and also when they're defending though, to let each other know, communicate, let each other know, okay, there's about to be a ball pinged, right over your head. Communicate. That's one of the reasons why we lost. Why we got the draw versus Roma. I know the goal versus Roma, the Matt Hummels goal, for example, it was such bad communication between the defense. Such bad. Sorry to go over to that, but yeah.
No, it's okay. No. Alan, I mean,
Yes.
we were disjointed and we lacked cohesion in midfield. And most games we know, anyone who's ever played football, most games are won and lost in midfield. We got the same midfield pivot in Sarr and Basuma. And yet, where was the discipline that we showed against Man City? Yeah, where was that discipline between those two? We know Maddison is not going to really want to dig you out of a fight, but if the other players play their way, right, then he can have a superb game like he did at Man City. But where was it? We were it was all over the place in midfield.
It really was. It really was.
We pressed like mad, but we pressed like headless chickens as well. We're not. We did put. I mean, we had our fair share of the ball, but you know, when it's not quite working, you know, you just get tighter, get narrower in the middle, prevent them from trying to play for you, leave them out wide, let them get wide. That's the idea of the game now, is to force people out wide. That's part of it. If you're a fullback, don't let them cut in, keep them out wide, right? And then if they put the cross in, you know, about 1 in 64 crosses result in a goal anyway. So your percentages are on your side, they're in your favour. But where was it? I mean, what happened?
I have no idea. Again, maybe they were drinking last night. I'm not sure. And they just kind of had a difficult morning. I thought that Papsar did okay. I mean, sometimes he broke up the momentum that Fulham had. But the problem is that Fulham, again, they played a very physical game against us.
We don't like that, do we?
No, and we've talked about this before. West Ham is like that, and their Galatasaray was very much that way. And when we do play against teams that like to be physical with us, we tend to become more timid on the ball. And I think maybe we have exceptions. Kulusevski, I think, thrives in that physical realm of play, but I think they forced us wide, and we didn't have any coverage for it. I think both Porro and Udogie were very poor today, as was Basuma. Unfortunately, I would have. It's unfortunate that we couldn't have Bentancur, but for the red card, you know, well, the ban that he has. I think we would have definitely done better had we had Bentancur in there instead of Basuma today. And unfortunately, our midfield. I watched the game with my father, and he was saying that, you know, and he doesn't. Again, he only knows so much about football, but he was saying, why is it that they can't control the midfield? What's going on? Why is Tottenham giving the ball away so cheaply in the midfield? And that was pretty much our state of play, and it costs us. And it really, unfortunately, it put so much pressure on our defense. You know, these guys, they looked exhausted by the end of the game. Dragishin, Ben Davies, they looked shattered. And they have every reason to, because they worked their tails off trying to make up for what the midfield was lacking.
I thought Sarr was good, actually. But I actually thought Basuma was piss poor. And the reason I say that is because you've got a new guy at the back with Davis. We know Davis isn't a player ball out. He's not out of a world who pings them angled balls. He can be good when shifting balls down the wing. Now you've got Dragerson, who tries to ping the ball like Romero. But Romero's much better on the ball than any of our defenders, right? He's much better.
Yep,
he's good with the balls. So when we played them 10 games last season, at least Basuma was coming to pick the ball up off the back four. He did very little of this today. I thought his positional. I thought what he did today, he didn't do enough. And this is it. Stand up. And Basuma, like in that team, and even the same with Maddison, you shouldn't have to rely on the work rate of Kulusevski and Solanke to make you look good in a team. Right, you should be able to stand on your own. Basuma's 27 now, right? He should have been trying to impose himself on that game, right? And to me, he was the main reason that midfield didn't perform, because Sarr was all right actually. Sarr battled, and we'll come to him later. Like, you know, I mean, Josh, what's your take on the midfield battle?
Look, I think personally, when I start the midfield off, obviously we started this stream talking about the winger, what I thought were the lineups, and I think that midfield needs to have a Kulusevski in it. It worked nicely that against Man City, a one-off game. The Kulusevski played well on the wing. It was a one-off game. But this game needed a Kulusevski in that midfield. Bissouma, I don't mind him picking up a yellow card every so often. I don't mind. He can do the dirty work. But what goes so well is that he does the dirty work, which allows Maddison to just be clean and go up front by himself and dictate play. That's what we need from our midfielder. Now, what happened today was simple. Our midfielders didn't know what on earth was happening. Okay, just mainly our midfielders didn't know what was happening because of the press. Now that's how I see it. Obviously, when we're defending, when the ball is in our half, it's a bit different. But I want to just talk about when we're pressing for a second. When we're pressing, usually Dominic Solanke leads the press with Sonny pressing on the left and Johnson not pressing so high, but pressing just enough to get the full back a little bit wobbly. Now, what happened today was that Sonny was leading the press, and that didn't help at all because Sonny was leading the press. He was not really pressing that much, which meant Werner had to come out of position to help press, which led Maddison to come out of position. So everyone was kind of out of position. Then all they did was clip a ball up top. Okay, Iwobi, Emil Smith-Rowe, and who was the other one? Lukic. All three of them dominated the midfield today. They dominated it. Why? Because number one, they were more than us in that midfield. Number two, they were more physical in that midfield. Now let's bring a different scenario into this. Okay, hypothetically speaking, you play Kulusevski in that midfield. All of a sudden, you're way more physical in that midfield, and Kulusevski brings this presence about him that frightens the other midfielders, something that our midfield doesn't have when he's not there. Versus Fulham, I think the midfield should have been Madders, Kulu, and Bissouma. Pape Sarr played well, don't get me wrong. Bissouma, I thought he had moments here and there, some decent moments, but majority he was not great at all. And Maddison, until he was not existent. He was not in existence at all the whole match. That's my thoughts on a Spurs midfield.
Bissouma, Alan?
I mean, he was poor. He likes to, I kind of assume that he and Bentancur kind of vie for the same position. They both tend to do 6-ish type work. Kulu, I think the reason why he was not in there to begin with is because I don't know if he has the same pace as Pape Sarr, and Fulham have a lot of pace. We saw it today. They were very, very fast in the midfield, but we made Iwobi look look amazing. We did. And Iwobi is a good player, but he looked very dangerous all game. In fact, I think it was Iwobi that hit the crossbar. I think we could have lost this game 2-1 had we not had a little luck on our side. But Bissouma, I wish I could say that it's something that's a somewhat of a surprise, but we've seen Bissouma disappear in games many times. And he, like the rest of Spurs, need to work on their consistency, because with Bissouma, I don't know if it's because of the system, or hey, what's up, Haz? Or the system, or if it's because he's just generally going to be hit and miss. He's very hot, cold, hit and miss, and I'm not surprised that it happened, because it happens all the time. There are games we need him, he disappears. Then there are other games that we need him, and he steps up. 50-50, it seems.
Yeah, definitely. But like Brennan's a lot like that as well. Like Brennan Johnson, I'm chairman of the JDL, so I can't say too much about him. But
I can.
He seems to disappear. He scores. He does his bit for scoring, but after that, he seems to vanish.
I thought he worked all right today. Actually, he got the goal. I actually thought he was helping out better than you've seen him. I think the best I've seen him playing a Spurs shirt actually was when he didn't score on Man City in the League Cup. I thought it was very good then, but yeah.
He was having to track back a lot because I think Porro had a very bad game.
Oh,
Porro, are we going to get to Porro? Okay, good.
Go on, do it now. Do it now.
No, just 1 minute. Jose, if you want to come on, I can send you the link as well. Just put yes or no in the comments.
Porro was very poor, I thought. You know, and again, on this channel, we've said it many times. A lot of goals come from his side, and I was surprised we didn't see Jed Spence come on, considering the people he pulled up. Well, that has to do more with his subs, but I was surprised specifically for Porro why he wasn't subbed earlier, because I think he just had a bad game, and it's not the first time that he's had poor showings for us, and he needs to know that he's not irreplaceable, that someone can come on, do a job. We just needed him to defend for the most part, and I don't think he did a very good job of it today.
Well, he's always halfway up the pitch by their goals. All that inverted wing-back nonsense that I keep going on about.
He does invert. Yeah. I don't agree that Udogie inverts as a number 8, basically. Porro, I mean, even during a week, I mean, even Kulu gave the ball away 24 times against Roma, and Porro gave it away 23 times, and he only had a 72% pass completion rate. We got players that aren't in good form, to be truthful. Or either that or they're knackered. They're doing double training sessions. I mean, we don't know what goes on at the training ground, so like when the press aren't there. So,
well, for me, like when I look at Porro and Udogie, especially because personally, I think they're not suited to play inverted anyway. Like they're not inverted fullbacks. They're just not. Like if you want to do that, and people might disagree with me in this sense, is you play 2 centre halves or /DMs at fullback, and you tell them to invert, like Arsenal did with Ben White and Timber and whoever else they've done in the previous. And I know people disagree with me because I'm using Arsenal players as an example, but like for me, Porro and Udogie were signed as wing backs, and they're clearly better playing out wide because obviously Adrian said that Udogie's sort of going towards the touchline a bit more than last season, which today I saw that a bit more as well because Werner and Son naturally go in field. I don't know why Werner does, but they naturally do.
I'll tell you what, we used a little bit of Porro today, actually, because he hadn't done it in last games. We know he didn't have a proper pre-season because he was injured, and he's come back early. He only had the pre-season. His form's been crap, apart from the way Man United 3-0 on a couple of games, right? And today, for the first time, and this is why I wondered Reguilon was on a subs bench as cover for him, if he still had a knock or something. But today, we actually see him do a couple of them powered runs down the left-hand side. As if he's been playing within himself recently. Now, I don't know if I'm imagining that, but and that's the Udogie I like. Obviously, I don't want him caught upfield when we get done on the break, right? You know, but
right.
I see some of that. So I thought, you maybe we're back to Man United. Maybe you're getting a little bit of your mojo back again. I mean, like, don't know what you guys thought.
But with Porro, for me, again, I think they played too many games. They played positions which they're not comfortable in because I still don't think Udogie's comfortable playing that way. And it's a combination of things. And I don't think the defensive shape or whatever defending we're supposed to be doing helps them either because you're telling them to run from almost inside, just behind the striker-ish. They're not exactly tense, but it's hard to explain when they're on the pitch because everyone shifts when we attack in certain like patterns and whatever. But like from the position they come from, because I was watching them a lot today. It's interesting you brought Porro up. I was watching them particularly to see what positions they were taking up when we had the ball, and to see whether we're inverting or not. And they were so far up the pitch that when the other teams broke, and as we saw this in midweek as well, they were switching their play. So get the ball in field or like just on the other side and they'll switch play because they know by the time they switch it, it's going to take ages for Porro or whoever to come back and take up that position on the right-hand side because they're coming from a position almost diagonally running it, and they're so far up the pitch a lot of the time that it's hard for them to get back. And this is why I think it's hurt them as well in terms of their fitness, and they're picking up injuries like Udogie did, and Porro looks like he's playing with one, because they're just running way too much. It's almost impossible for them to do it.
I also think that with Porro, when you got Johnson on his side, he doesn't help him out at all. That is one of the criticisms I have got. At least when Kulu's out there, he will help him out. He will get back and
But on the right, the problem is that because it's not a problem, but obviously Johnson's scoring the goals, but at the same time, when he
don't do nothing,
he's not really a winger. I look at him, I don't see like an actual winger.
But you do have a right-sided midfielder who's supposed to help out all over as a number 8, right? And fair play to Dragosin today, because he was covering for Porro. He made a few of the VDV runs to come back.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Dragosin did quite well, I thought. Yeah,
it's important to note that Porro was injured, though. I mean, I don't understand Ange, and this is what really pissed me off about Ange. Porro was injured after that groin, and no matter what anyone wants to say, he was injured. He was in mad pain. Now, you as a manager, you take him off. Number 1 for rest, and number 2 to not increase that injury to make it worse. You've got a perfectly suitable right back to come in, and to be fair, like I said earlier, he can do with the pace with Porro. Someone who can, if he does want to get inverted, to someone who can capitalize on Robinson, on that winger. Now, the problem today with Udogie was the fact that he wasn't existent up forward. He wasn't existent defending. Okay, I thought the whole back line was just all over the place. It was a bit of a mix. The two were actually all right, and they were all right, was Ben Davis and Fraser Forster. I thought they were all right. I thought Dragosin here and there had some decent moments, obviously covering for Porro, but I couldn't really tell about Dragosin's performance because he was covering for Porro. And you as a manager, you are seeing that your right back is struggling. You're seeing that your centre back is having to cover for your right back. And you can see that your right winger has to come back to do even more defensive work than he usually does for your right back. So why in your goddamn mind would you not switch that right back? It makes no bloody sense. And you know what? I can give so much credit to Ange for the times that we play well, the fact that he gets the press very much correct in my opinion. But today, we have certain circumstances that Ange just doesn't want to do with substitutions, what we could do with one. I thought Udogie as well.
Point quickly about the fullbacks, okay? Because the problem we have is our 2 natural fullbacks that are backups, if you want to label it that, or competition. Like Jed Spence obviously had the few minutes where he's actually looked good this season, to be fair to him, and I'm not the person who thought he was going to do anything, right? Mm-hmm. But Reguilon and Spence and Ange's bad books in the sense that obviously last season Spence was in and he was loaned out. Reguilon was loaned out as well because it's like off-field stuff that happened that affected it. So the problem is I don't know how willing Ange is to play them. Like I don't know because bear in mind Archie Gray has played most of the fullback positions when we've got
I never want to see Serge Reguilon play in that Tottenham team. I think he's absolutely useless. I don't think he should ever get back into that Tottenham Hotspur team. I think I would rather play Archie Gray in that left back or right back position ahead of Serge Reguilon. We've got to move on.
But I'm not talking just about Reguilon. I'm talking about Spence as well because clearly Gray is higher up his pecking order than Spence.
Then play Archie Gray there. Like I understand your point in saying we got different.
But then you play Archie Gray there, and then Archie Gray's career will get destroyed because he can't. I get Hugo told he's a number 6, so he shouldn't be playing there. And Gray's actual physicality does not suit a fullback position, in my opinion. Like he's not fast enough.
Yeah, and this is why I'm criticizing Ange because right now in this game, what we needed was either right back was a right back switch. Let's not get this twisted. We needed a right back switch, and guess what? You know where our goal came from, where we conceded the goal from that right back position. We conceded the goal from the right back position. So it's just simple elements like that can change the game around. I'm not saying obviously we'd go win 6-0 now if we would change that right back. But I can assure you we would have a much better chance of beating Fulham then drawing 1-1.
At the same time, in the first half, I thought they were spotting us on our left-hand side. That's just my opinion. I thought they were trying to get the ball to. I can't remember who was on the right. What was the name? I can't remember.
Val Jimenez.
Yeah, they were trying to get the ball to the right to put balls into Jimenez. And remember, there was that chance in the first half where I don't know what our players were doing at the back. There was like ball watching. The ball comes in, and Jimenez, if he got a touch, probably was a goal. I mean, he had the chance as well where he forced to saved it. But it's just. They were just exploiting our wide areas. Like, it's so obvious. Yeah. It's so. But this is because the inversion. Because if you don't invert the fullbacks, then you played flat back four today. At least when these the wingers attack like Iwobi's and I think Reece Nelson was the other one that I can remember. Who actually, to be fair to him, Reece Nelson had a good game. But like, at least they can double up on him because they'll have already 4 players at the back. And then you can just tell that what Johnson or whoever's on the other side or to come back and double up on the attacker. But because when they break, right, they're switching the play. So what it is, you switch the play, and I said by the time the fullback comes back, it's too late almost. But
that's exactly how that's a problem with Tottenham Hotspur. The problem with Spurs is that currently, let's take this game in for example.
Sorry, it's my fault.
Pardon?
Oh.
No, I'm saying specifically for this game, the CDM was supposed to act, because both fullbacks invert, the CDM was supposed to act as a third centre-back, because it doesn't make sense to leave 2 centre-backs by itself. Now, if we have 3 centre-backs...
No, I agree with you, but we don't play the 6.
Exactly. So if we have a CDM, then it kind of shifts it all, but I 100% agree with you. We got to work on that, the fact that it's way too easy for the opposition to switch play. 100% agree with you, Haz. Yeah.
It's not just that, it's just the reason they are switching plays is because we have so much space on the flanks. And like I said, that's why I made the comment earlier before I came on saying Silva watched the Roma game. Because if you were at the Roma game, or if you watched even like half an hour of it, you could see that they were overloading the wide areas because we were so open there.
So one should invert and one shouldn't then, to make it better.
Well, that's what Jose used to do. He used to play Davies at left back sometimes, and he'd tell Aurier to go, and then he would leave it like lopsided sort of. And then maybe that would benefit Gray more if we played Gray in a fullback position, play lopsided in a sense of playing only one of them inverts and the other one sticks. Maybe it could work, but Ange don't do that sort of stuff. Like I'm comparing Jose because Jose used to that Aurier thing. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
But,
no, I'm just seeing this comment here about here we go FIFA experts. That's what I'm seeing right now.
FIFA, I was at the games and this is what I saw.
Yeah.
It's like...
Alan, we looked a tired side, to be honest, didn't we? We looked tired, I thought.
We did look tired, and I think the subs didn't help. I thought it was strange timing for the subs. Yeah. I was a little confused. We took off Werner and Madison, who seemed to be some of the better players today. Mm-hmm. But we left on like Son, who I thought was so poor from beginning to end. And we brought on, I guess when I say we brought on youth, what choice did we have? Basically, that's our whole bench is youth for the most part. So bringing on youth didn't surprise me. I was surprised to see Archie Gray go into the midfield. He came on, I think, for Madison, which is new. And I don't know if it's really all that fair to the poor kid. We've been playing him in the left or right back position, whichever one, take your pick. And then we ask, hey, now you play midfield. And I don't know. I feel for the young kids. It's one thing if you make an experienced player kind of move around the pitch a bit. That's one thing to me because at least they can handle it. But the young kid, you know, I feel like he's getting jerked around all over the place. So he's just kind of a stand-in, you know. Does he even have to know Archie's name? Just call, hey, stand in, go over there. Stand in, go over here.
Go.
Yeah, go and goal. Go, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Archie Gray, if Forster got hurt.
Doesn't he? Trust him.
Yeah, well, he obviously,
because he's played him in 3.
You're right. He obviously does trust him.
He hasn't looked out of his depth. He hasn't looked out of his depth, and he hasn't let the side down either. So
you're right about that. I feel bad. I feel bad for him because I think a little stability and consistency would help him grow. Kind of having him play all over the place doesn't really help his progression and growth. but just give him a position, tell him where he's going to be, and let him work on that. But as far as who are we talking about? We're talking about
Great.
Archie Gray. Gray? No,
Yeah.
we were talking about. I was talking about the subs. I kind of got off
Yeah.
topic with the Gray.
Now.
Can I say something about Gray after you're done? After you finish, let's say something about Gray.
Right.
Yeah.
Bergvall, I don't know that. I mean, they showed a lot of passion on the pitch. The youth show the passion that I wish some of our experienced players showed, but I don't see how bringing on Bergvall and Gray will translate to that second goal that we desperately needed. Son had his chance early in the game. Son was giving the ball away. Son wasn't. Again, I still think he needed to come off much earlier. He could have thrown a fit. I don't care. He has to play better if he wants to be venerated as this, the paragon of our team and the experienced man and our captain. I think he needs to put in better play. He really does. He needs to play better, and we need him to play better because we are so down in the depth. We're in this. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. There were a couple of people on the bench. I didn't even know they were on our team. I don't know who they are. I've never seen them before. And that's worrying to me that I don't know who these people are, because if they're considered squad depth, we're in a lot of trouble. And we don't have, it's not going to get any easier. We got Bournemouth, we got Chelsea, we still have Europa stuff we got to deal with. It could be a very long December for us, a really long December for us.
So I was going to say something about Gray. So don't get me wrong, I'm not Gray's biggest fan. I think he's all right from what I've seen. I watched him a bit for Leeds last season.
Unproven at the moment.
Yeah, but in his for his own development, putting him in this circumstance as a number 6 was not going to help anyone. When he put him there, I was so shocked. It was we were all begging for him to play as a number 6, especially Ian Lubin, right? And he chucks him as in the 6 in this circumstance. I wasn't expecting him to do anything really, and obviously came off injured later on. But it's his shame for his own development, not because like I said, my opinion on Gray is completely out of this for now. But his own development, we did Tanganga, where we ruined him because we played left back, right back, centre back, all these different positions. He didn't have a settled spot. With Gray, I think we're doing the same mistake. But if you're going to play him in the 6 in the Premier League, you need to do it in a more comfortable position. If you're 2-3-0 up, say 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go or something, then start him then. And then if we're on a run, I don't know if that ever happened, but if we're on a run of 4 or 5 wins in a row, and you're playing, I don't know, we played Ipswich at home already, so one of the bottom teams at home, then you put him in the 6 next to Bentancur and Kulusevski or something and play it like that, and then try him out like that. But the circumstances he's put him in the 6 today was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe he actually did it. He should have left Maddison on anyway, but it was unfair. It was kind of unfair on him, really, because
it seemed to me that the poor players he left on and the sort of, well, I wouldn't say good, but the half sensible ones he took off. I thought Maddison was doing all right.
No, we don't have
Sonny.
I mean, you got Millie Jedinek sits up there with a laptop with all the specs on the players coming.
I'm not worried about that, Adrian.
No. Hold on. It's a question of energy levels and all this. What they're doing.
No, but goodness sakes, man.
Effective or not?
No, but Maddison was doing all right. The worst player on the pitch today was Sonny. The worst player on the pitch was. The worst player on the pitch today was Son, and he left him on for 90 minutes for the first time for ever.
I thought Basuna and Maddison were the ones, the reason why Fulham dominated that game, because we kept giving it away. It was too sloppy. Even though we did press like mad, and we tried to press all the time, and Sonny tried to press, but that's all he was doing. I mean, he's got to be
Sorry,
good
Ellie, who you talking about?
got
John
good
asking.
positions. But
Yeah.
to be honest with you, and I wouldn't mind seeing Gray given a go in that team instead of Basuma, because to me, I'm starting to doubt now whether Basuma can give you the consistency over a season in his performances.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Get rid of him, because either then you've got to look to bring someone else in, and if we bring a midfielder in, we've got to get rid of one. The kids is different. They're laying around. They're all on long contracts, right? But to me, I mean, Maddison, he gives you that something extra special. He's, he makes things happen on his day and all that,
Well, exactly,
Yeah.
and he got took off.
I know, but he wasn't effective when he was being taken off, and then he was.
Well,
He's on the ball. He's passing it this way and that way. There was no zip to our play. There was no zip to it. It's all right passing and having good passing stats at the end of the game, but if you've done nothing with it, I mean,
Yeah, but Adrian, 81 minutes in.
Put through. What telling ball did he put through? Apart from that free kick.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Adrian, 81 minutes in, you're 1-1. You sure you don't want to leave Maddison on against 10 players? Against 10 players.
this is what I was getting at.
Imagine this.
Well,
Imagine
I
this.
don't
Madison.
know.
Imagine
Right,
this though,
okay.
Adrian. Madison crossing balls in straight to Lancashire's header. The big ball
Yeah,
Lancashire
exactly.
in the box.
Exactly.
What
don't
else
know.
did you want? Obviously a trophy.
Well,
but yeah.
You've got to be a mind reader to read it. Ange. Why was it? Did he want to inject a bit more energy
He's
into the
done
game?
this so many times. He's made the most.
But then the Lancashire
bizarre...
stuff was startling because I was like, why did he bring one with like 2 minutes left? He should have just.
Well, exactly.
I don't know.
I would have thought, in all fairness, I know he's only young, but I would have thought Lancashire might have started. He's the nearest we got to Solanke.
I
You know what I mean?
I would have rather started him in that striker role ahead of Son. I would have
No,
rather
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He could have done other things. Like,
he could have done that, and it's easy for us to say that in hindsight on that position because, like, we had no when we was going forward, there was no outlet, there was no number 9 there. There was no one in the centre, and when we had the ball out wide, you think what we're going to do with it because we got no one in the middle anyway.
I mean,
At least Lancashire, I'd agree, would have occupied a couple of defenders there, and then you might open up a bit more space elsewhere. But
personally, when they went to 10 men, I would have gone 4-4-2, put Lancashire up front with Son, and then just hit balls in because they weren't going to get out of their half. Even when they got the ball in the small moments they did, when they had 10, they were just hoofing it out. So
the problem is with Tottenham is they never put balls into the box, and the one time they do, Johnson scores. Like they never put balls into the box. I'm screaming at the TV at least 3-4 times per game, saying to either Son or Johnson, cross the bloody ball into the box. You never know what can happen when a ball goes into the box. It's trouble. It's trouble. The opposition doesn't know what to do. And we've got players in there that can attack. Obviously now versus Fulham we didn't, but we usually have Dominic Solanke in there. We usually have a Kulusevski in there, a Johnson. We got players, but man, cost the bloody ball.
I think Solanke would have scored that first half in the first minute. We were discussing about the Son miss. I think Solanke puts that ball in.
100% agree.
But then Solanke to his defense, don't get me wrong, I don't think he's the best striker. I think he's all right. Like he doesn't get enough supply. Like everyone tells me he's a target man, but we don't really put enough crosses for him. Like
Exactly.
This is the thing, though. How many times have you seen Solanke take one too many touches before taking a shot? It's happened so many times, in my opinion. I've seen him take one too many touches.
I meant on his head anyway. Yeah.
But that's the problem with Solanke. But the best thing about Solanke is his press, and you really missed it today. We all really missed that today, and we were shocking in that press today. We were horrific. We let them come out. We let them counter-attack us. We let them not even counter. We let them just pass around the ball so easy with no press, nothing. And that's what Dominic Solanke
But
provides.
then you say that, Josh, but against Ipswich, when Solanke was playing, we still had the same problem there. They were just passing it around us. So I think it's more of a non-tactical problem rather than just we were missing X player, because Ipswich were playing around us like, we made them look really good that day, and they scored the bicycle kick. So like for me, it's down to that one player. I think it's just whatever's going on the training ground, because I'm not there. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't think they're working enough on defensive shape or defensive, like being proactive in shutting off attacks, or like I don't know what they're doing. I'm not.
You know, Has
understanding that.
imagine me telling you that we will be playing attacking football with two of our centre backs being our last players, in defence, being Ben Davies and Radu Dragusin. I mean, you can just pass the ball between, or just do what Raul Jimenez did today. Just run past Ben Davies. Just do that. You might as
I'll
well.
tell you. I'll tell you one thing I noticed. Even in injury time at the end of the game, right, we were still defending on the halfway line. All right. I accept we were pushing for the winner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Allegedly pushing for the winner.
It's different. in that
Allegedly.
scenario, like.
Allegedly, right? We were pushing for the winner, but that is his Welsh teammate. Is it Wilson?
Harry
Wilson,
Wilson. He was.
Harry
Yeah.
Wilson.
He skinned Ben Davies alive. What the
Yep.
hell? What the hell? When you know that the man has got the legs on you, are you doing sat on the bloody halfway line? And God knows whoever the left back was at that stage, because we had 3 today, right? God knows where he was, because he was nowhere to be seen, right? And if it weren't for Dragu busting his gut to get back from the halfway line, they would have won it. Because if Dragu ain't cleared that for a corner, there was a Fulham bloke stood right behind him, and it was an empty net.
Mark, I'll tell you
We
what.
showed no urgency
defense-
when they were down to 10 men with the ball either. We should have started.
We had
moving
this
ball
the other
quicker.
week against Ipswich when
And-
we were chasing
and we
the
had-
game.
And the same thing again. There was a time when Johnson had got really down the right, second half, but he had the ball. He's burst right down the right wing. There's no one in the middle though. There's no one to give the ball to.
And that all led.
In the first half, when we did get it to the wings, there was no one in the middle to give the ball because Sonny was more inverted. He was more inverted.
Exactly, and
between the
and
wings.
that's
I mean,
the
like,
problem.
it's like it just wasn't happening. But
And the thing, the thing I was talking, the thing I was talking like about when Ben Davies got skinned, I think that came from when Sarr fell over. He slipped over, and that Wilson, he was in his own half, and he just.
Oh, it was Udogie. I think it was Udogie that slipped.
all right, it was a doggy.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Oh, it was a doggy. So he was left back, was he? He was still. Because I thought he got took off. But anyway, and so Udogie was all the way up by their penalty area. That Wilson gets the ball when Udogie slips over, bursts at least 60, 70 yards, leaves Ben Davies for toast. What the hell he was doing on the halfway line is beyond me. But that's the system. That's the
High
system.
line.
But that's high line for life, mate, and all that nonsense, right? But he burst past Ben Davies and just left him as though he wasn't even there. And if it weren't for Dragusin busting his ass to get back, they would have won. To be honest, Fulham completely outplayed us for both. Well, I didn't watch the first
I
half,
thought our goal came out of nothing, really.
but it did from what I saw.
Well, because I was there, I got up and I started saying "fucking wake up," and like if you ask people sitting next to me, I was like really bad. And then I was like, we had the ball that position. I was like, pass it there, move it, because it was so like slow. Eventually, I was like, put the ball in, like Josh was saying, like he's probably on the TV. Finally, put the ball in and scored the goal. But that was the only bit of like 5 minutes that I thought that we showed any sort of like impacting the game really. Because after that, we had some possession for like 5-10 minutes, and then it went back to Fulham dominating. And if I was a Fulham fan, I'd been gutted that they didn't win the game really, because the goal was coming from them. Like it was just inevitable. Like I don't know how you guys felt, but
I agree with what you and Mark both said. Has, because in terms of what you said in regarding to Udogie and what Mark said just now in regarding to Ben Davies, what I believe is that Ben Davies and there's a lot of players in this Tottenham team, they don't like the way Ange plays. I really do believe it. They don't. I'll tell you why. Because Ben Davies, you can't tell me that Ben Davies enjoys playing a high line. Now, with regards to Udogie, I don't know, but you can't. But you can tell me now the fact that Johnson enjoys this attacking element. You can tell me that Madders enjoys the attacking element, that when he does play the attacking element. But then there's players that like Udogie, where yes, I agree with you, Has, in terms of he loves to get forward. but there's a certain amount and certain distance in where he likes to get forward. He does like to go forward on the byline. He doesn't like to get inside that box. That's the difference. That's the difference. Now versus Fulham, we saw it. Ben Davies, he's the most experienced player in this Tottenham team, and I will bet you whatever you want that Ben Davies would have said no. If this was up to me, I would not be standing there. I would be standing way back because I know how fast I am. I know how fast I can get back.
Well, he's 32 for God's sakes, isn't he?
I mean, Josh, that's how football used to be back in the day. Obviously, we didn't have these much tactical high lines and all this, but you'd had a lot of defenders who maybe lacked the pace against like a certain player, and what they would do, they'd be very good positionally to make up for the lack of pace. But because nowadays it's so strict with systems, like Davies, if you don't play the high line, I'm just talking theoretically here, Ange will probably have a massive go at him at half time. Why are you not staying on the halfway line? It's like, but mate, if I stand
you can see it. If Romero comes back during the week, then Dragusin will be playing alongside him, because Ben Davies, if he gets left out, it'll not because he hasn't played well. He's played very well in the games he's came in, but it'll be because of pace probably. And it's just a question of which one of them would play left centre back, because Romero looks like he's going, and Solanke look like they'll be back, but he might decide to give Romero another rest. But then it all depends on what the medical team take about the players they've got there, because some of those that have played a lot of games are starting to look a bit tiring. We're only a third into the season, 13 games.
Yeah.
We're only a third into the season, and the
squad we look burnt out already.
Stretched.
But in defense of the players, in defense of the defense today, is that we only conceded one goal. We didn't lose the game because of the defense. We lost it because of the midfield and the attack. Let's get that straight, because I really do believe that this defense, obviously bar Poro, including the keeper, bar Poro, they did as much as they could today. I think they gave in 100%. Not saying that they were great. I'm saying they gave all they could today. I don't believe that midfield and that trio in attack gave it all today. I really don't think that Heung-min Son gave it all today. Are you telling me?
No, I think he did. I disagree with Josh. I think he did. I just don't think he has the same stamina he had before.
I do think that, and I've said, and by the way, I've said this, and you guys can clip it to me now. I think he's done. I think Son is. Pardon?
I'm one of Son's biggest critics, but I can't ever say he doesn't give it his all, because I see him running like constantly. Like,
no. I don't think Son gave it all. I think Son could have given so much more.
I hate it's the fact that, for example, you watch teams like Liverpool or City or the really top teams, or even, I don't know, other teams. But when I look at their press is like organized. With us, I just see Son running, then I see Werner running. Then like they don't press in like some sort of like shape or some sort of like purposeful press. It's just like, unless everyone just harry the player, and then. On the consequence of you saying about the midfield, we don't play with a destroyer. We don't play with a number 6. Basuma was never a 6 at Brighton. He was always an 8. So you're asking him to do a job that's not really his anyway. And he's very inconsistent, as Adrian alluded to. And today was one of his bad days. But it's just
so Haz, are you Ange out?
Yeah,
hang on. Hang on.
I know.
Can I answer? Can I answer this?
Record scratch.
Wait. Sorry. Do you mind if I just go in a bit more detail on that question? Because
sure.
I hear all of us in the panel. We are saying quite a fair amount of things that was wrong, or that has been wrong for time. But none of us really have said if we're Ange out, because we've said Puro is a problem, Udogi is a problem, no number 6, the press is a problem. So what's everyone's thoughts on the Ange?
I'm fully engine.
Okay.
I don't want to go for a rinse and repeat. We're in free cup. We're what?
Yeah.
We're 7th in the league on 20 points. We're only 3 points off top 4. I mean, it's not like the world has ended and the 4 horses of the apocalypse have turned up. You know what I mean? I mean, like, we've got everything to play for still. Poor result. Yes, these things need sorting out. We didn't do enough work in the transfer window in summer. We need to definitely do some in January. I should judge Ange at the end of the season. I've said it before. No. So I get it. If people don't like him, that's their opinion. But no one's going to browbeat me to change my mind. I'm fully.
Adrian, I'm not going to force you to be Ange out.
No, you won't. You won't. No one will.
No, I know, right?
We're not trying to force you. We're just saying the criticisms that we feel.
Yeah.
No, listen, I've critiqued him. Him on, but this squad's starting to look a little bit threadbare now, even though we've got kids in it. And it's a question.
Adrian, I'm 100% with you.
And it's even a quid when you can play them, to be fair with them, not just we've got them in, play them. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. You know, new players get drip feed into the squad. Some wait months to get their chance. You know, I think Gray's took his chance well. I mean, like, he's done well in every position. He looks more oven ready than any other young player.
I'm not blaming Gray himself. I'm just blaming the use of him. That's all it is.
Even Mikey Moore, I think, is going to be a phenomenon. He's still going to have to be drip fed into the squad. You know, you cannot do it this way. And the problem is, we all knew before this season, before they got rid of 16 players, there was going to have to be a massive overhaul. The problem is, people think new manager, it's all done, miracle worker, blah, it's going to happen like that. No.
But Adrian, that's not my...
No, my argument is like, when we need another left back and another number 9, because Richarlison ain't good enough, and Lancashire can be third choice number 9, whatever, and that's just 2 holes. Now, if you want to bring a midfielder as 6, if you want to bring an Edison in or a Fratesi in, fine. But then, to me, the first one out the door to me would be Basuma. I don't think. I doubt he can cut it over a season.
Right. Can I have now? I do not like Ange's system. Right. I enjoy the way we play football, attacking football, but I hate this inverted wing backs nonsense, because it leaves us exposed, as Fulham have proved, Galatasaray proved, Roma proved. Right, but now, if Ange actually looked like he would adapt in game and change things when all the rest of us sat at home, or you in the stadium, or you has in the stadium, can see it's not working, I'd be fully behind Ange. But when he does nothing to change situations, it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You know, he literally, I mean, it's like Josh said, you could see Porro was struggling, take him off, but he does nothing. He does nothing. And he keeps insisting on playing this high line rubbish, which may have worked with Celtic because they had the best team anyway and the best players, or very nearly the best team, I should say, because they did make up a so many point deficit to Rangers from the season before. But when you've got one of the top teams in your league, then you can do that. But this is the Premier League, pal. And if he learns and adapts, I'll be fully behind Ange, because the attacking stuff, when we get it right, I love it. But see, he is very much along the lines of a Pochettino, right? With the attacking football we play and all that. But the difference between him and Pochettino, with Pochettino, we had some sort of defensive structure.
Yeah.
With it, with Dembele and Wanyama sat in there to protect when Rose and Walker used to bomb forward. With Ange, it's just everybody else bugger off at the other end of the pitch and try and score, and 2 centre-backs, you've got to sit on the halfway line.
The thing is, Dragoson's not experienced enough to be progressive with the ball to play the shotgun or quarterback that Romero plays. So we lose that before we even start a game. We haven't got that. He pings a few. Some of them get out to the wing, some don't. Romero's much more accurate with his passing, right? And he might look slow at times, but that's usually when he's got runners, right? Definitely,
Coy's boys.
I was expecting Basuma to step up and pick the ball up off the back 4 more and turn, because at least Basuma can beat the press, but he's not a 6 either, you know, and neither's Bentancur. But Bentancur's got more dog and more bite about him, an all-round game, and he's got the drive to get you up the field, push the team up the field, which Basuma sometimes he just hangs on the ball, he goes on a mazy runs, the ball can stick to him, he can be a bit of a glue pop with the ball and all that, but then he'll wander. You know, what's the areas of pitch you're supposed to be covering? You should be through the centre. We need a ball carrying number 8 through the centre, which we haven't had since probably Gascoigne and Dembele and all that. But I mean,
Modric.
We haven't got that. We haven't got that. So there are holes in this squad. And now we're getting a few injuries to key players.
I'm not being funny, Adrian. You say there's holes in the squad, but Ange doesn't even really seem to be addressing any of them. when he keeps constantly playing this high line without any protection whatsoever for the defensive, if we get broken up.
The simplest thing he could do, and I know it's very simple, is drop the inverted fullbacks nonsense and tell the wingers to play as forwards.
But that's not Ange. No, but that's not Ange. You might as well.
Well,
tell
that's
him not
a
to
very
attack.
simple tweak. It's just shifting the other way around. That's
I know,
it is.
but this is the reason why Levy wants Ange. Levy wants Ange because he believes that Tottenham Hotspur fans want attacking football, which is correct. We want entertaining football. Now, we don't want entertaining football for the price of conceding 3 goals per game.
He's happy to concede goals, though.
I know that's what Ange thinks, and us as fans, we need to either accept the fact that we're going to concede goals, but we're going to score, or just not accept it. And right now, we're in a position where, well, okay, fine, we do accept we're going to concede goals, but we're not even scoring. I mean, we're not even scoring. Yes, we got games that we do score 4 goals, but then games we score 1 goal. We're so inconsistent, and that's the biggest problem with Ange football. The football itself works. The style of Ange football works only on specific teams, and he needs to know how to adapt.
Yeah.
And he believes that adaptations only works with consistency with a team. If you consistently play the same players, he believes that will adapt, and obviously the players will somehow understand how to score goals. But that's not how it will work. We have to adapt the midfield to the team. We have to adapt the tactics to the opposition. The tactics versus Manchester City should not ever be the same tactics we apply versus a Fulham. Should never.
Yeah, I agree with you. Totally.
And unfortunately, that's the manager we have. He thinks it's the flipping Australian league or the Korean league and whatever.
He's not going to change his philosophy for no one, right? He'll
Well,
he won't be here long. Well, he won't be here long.
He'll be here all this
I don't know about that, Mark.
He'll be here all this season.
I know, and I hope he is
because we're in 3 cups, and we're 3 points off top 4.
So do you think if we lose to United, he's going to go then?
No, the Europa League gets you Champions League. We're going to be in that.
I'm not
going to lose no sleep over the 3 teams we got left to play in that.
What if we don't finish in the top 8?
So much.
Sorry?
What if we don't finish in the top 8 because we're 9th now?
Well, then you'd go in the playoffs, wouldn't you? Down to 16.
Yeah, but we were like ahead of everyone in the first few games, weren't we?
Yeah, but
we were top, weren't we?
The teams above us have got to play each other. There's quite a few that have got to play each other, right?
And Peter, what's Ange want at Tottenham? Peter, please answer us. Thank you.
What's he want? What was the question?
He's just saying, Poch didn't win anything in 5 seasons. I just asked him what Ange did. Has won at Tottenham so far, anyway.
Well, it's 5.5 seasons for Poch, but I mean, Ange has only been here. And we all know that, listen, Poch had a better squad of players. He had the
and he didn't get the
Eriksen, Son, and Kane. You had Dembele in midfield with Wanyama. You could have put Eric Dyer in there, had man of the match performances in midfield. He went
a couple of transfer windows without getting players either.
18 months. Yeah.
Poch had a better team.
Can I just add though, Adrian? He also didn't get 400 million.
Oh, we're not going to go down there.
I'm just saying.
Why not? I hear this 400 million.
I'm just saying.
Complete and utter myth. Where's the 400 million?
Poch got scraps, to be fair to him. Scraps.
Poch didn't get a transfer in 518 days, right?
Well, exactly. Well, that's our point, Adrian.
There's no way there's myth.
I'm going to go, but all I'm going to say is thank you so much for having me on your channel, Adrian.
Hang on.
Good to see you, buddy.
We get you back.
Hang on. Where is it? There
we go.
There you go.
Go and subscribe to Josh here, guys.
And hopefully we win the Champions League next season.
The Champions League. That's so funny.
But the thing is, I'm not expecting Ange or any manager to turn us into Real Madrid or Barcelona. That's not the point. I'd take, the thing with Poch and Redknapp and Joel is that we were playing organised, structured football. And you knew there was a purpose to our play. Then you knew that they were going to play a certain way, but if we play the bigger sides, like I allude to Joel a lot with this, they would change it because they knew they were playing opposition which was probably better quality on the face of it than us. And Joel had to do that a lot, by the way. And to be honest, Joel was very unlucky to finish above Arsenal.
To me,
You
the
had
biggest
Henri, Vieira, and all them players.
it's a question of consistency. When you've seen it and it works, Man United away 3-0, Man City away 4-0, Villa at home 4-1, West Ham at home 4-1, Everton 4-0, whatever it is. When you've seen it and it works, it's fine. When the wheels fall off, it looks bad. You think we'd lost the game today, but we did actually draw it. But not good. I wasn't happy with the performance, and I'll critique him on it. Now, in my mind, I'm just thinking we've got fitness with this squad, and I think that's affecting his. I mean, I don't know, but I think it's affecting the substitutions and all that.
When was this, Tom? When was this, Tom? When did Poch get a big rebuild? Oh, in the first 2-3 years, yes, I agree with you.
Yeah,
He did
right.
get some there.
I think he got rid of, over his 5.5 years stay, I think Poch got rid of 36 players.
But I think what we're trying to say is, under Poch, for example, we saw an improvement from the season 1 to season 2.
Exactly.
Redundant, I saw almost immediately. But
then when he had to make changes, when he would, people used to complain when he rested the wing back. So if Rose and Walker didn't play and you brought the other two in,
Trippier and Davies, I remember Trippier.
They would moan. The fans would moan about it and say like, "Oh, why are you now playing Rose and what's the name? Why aren't playing unless they're tired or something? Why is he playing? They're not injured."
This is where Poch was let down, because especially Prime Poch, sort of 2017, 18, around that area, we could have won both of them leagues if Levy had stuck his hand in his pocket. But we had a fantastic first 11. We had a fantastic first 11. The desk that you're always on about, the back four that we all know, Wanyama and Dembele. But when any of them got injured, it was the likes of Eric Dyer, Harry Winks, them sort of players coming in, and the drop off was immense.
Tom Carroll for like the first season.
Yeah, exactly. People like that coming in, and the drop off was immense, right? But the thing is with Poch, even his first season, he struggled, but there was progression. We went like that. We went like that as a team, and we're all over the bloody show. Who knows? And in general, it's going like that. It's a downward spiral. It's a downward trend in our form.
The lack of consistency is because we don't have the midfielders that can give us the energy, like when Decky's not in the team. Who have you got that can replace that? So you don't need another Decky, but you need someone who's got that drive and energy in the field. Doesn't have to be a leader, or nothing like people going about leaders. Leaders aren't going to change a team if you're playing crap, right? They just lead by example by the way they play, like Decky has done this season. So really ideally, you've got Bentancur, that's fine. Maddison's not that type of player. That's why I think Basuma's is probably the one of the biggest under threat. I mean, he might smash it this season. Basuma, who knows? I mean, he's only a third of the way in, but we've got to add to that. Like, bring Edison in, bring Fratese in, or bring another midfielder. I mean, link with Hugo. We start being linked with every man his dog again. Hugo Larson, lots of players again. Like, although we need a left back first, right? In my opinion. So, well, we need it because we haven't got the same engine when you take those players out, and we need another number 9. Because we've seen it today with Solanke and Decky not starting, right? Son through the middle. I thought, when I looked at the starting line, I thought, well, it's a lot of pace there. But I didn't know how Fulham were going to play before balls kicked. So then I thought, is this going to work, or is this going to be a game where Son through the middle works or it doesn't work? So that was the first thing I was thinking, and it didn't work. Right?
No.
It didn't work. So you thought, and that's why the switch came later, and some shifted out to the wing, and Decky started coming up through the middle, right when he came on, But we haven't got enough dynamic players in that midfield, which is what we need. We don't know if Bergvall's the answer yet. And he's another one who's not oven ready, with 11 players in the 25 that are under 24 years of age.
This is definitely true. That is definitely true. we all know it's about profit.
Well,
now.
you know, the word is that the Lange and him, they're waiting to see what shape the squad will be in January. You know, if
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what shape the
Well-
squad's in. We will get the cheapest players available.
Well, then we need to see. Well, then we need to see who we bring in, Mark.
Well, we'll have to see.
Are we
But
going to
I'm
bring
not-
anyone in January? I don't know.
I'm not too hopeful.
At least 2, I would have thought. It's a month.
We need left back.
3 months in the summer to bring players in. And look, and clubs in European competitions pursuing silverware and clubs involved in relegation, right, all through Europe, they're not going to sell you their players unless they've got, say, 3 in that position and they've got 1 spare to sell. It's hard. We've done well in January, though. I mean, we got Dele Alli in, we got Lucas Moura in, we got Bentancur in, we got Kulusevski in, we got Porro in. You know, he's another one I think it could be under threat by the end of the season, just because of his defensive prowess. He's a superb footballer technically, but you know, all right, we did get Dan Juma in January as well. Right? That's one like that. But the majority of the work we've done in January has been pretty good. But to get more than 2 players in January, it's a mission. It's a mission. So that
Adrian, you know, you spoke about Porro.
working now. They don't just work when the transfer window comes around. They should be making lists from the beginning of the season. And I've had meetings recently, apparently, about their targets, and one's got to be a left back. I mean, I'll be surprised if it is. Hope we get Dorgu from Lecce. I really hope we get him. He's a bowler.
Can I just answer this comment? I can easily time you out, Graham. I'm just saying. I was 10 points. I was 10 points clear a couple of weeks ago, and now, well, I'm like Ange. It's being questioned whether I should be sacked as the manager of my football team.
The thing is, though, like obviously, Adrian mentioned about Porro's lack of defensive work and like Adogi's lack of defense. Can't you really coach defending though? Like,
yeah, you can, can't you? I mean, like, when Rose and Walker first come to this club, they were sent out on loan. Cole Walker was always getting caught upfield and out of position, right? And look at him, he's turning one of the best right backs in the world. It might be slowing up a bit now, who knows? I mean, like, because City are not doing well, but he's like saying, "Oh, he's crap now," but it's rubbish, right? But you know, I mean, like, yeah, you can be coached, and I think they are. But then it comes a question of timing and runs, you know, like a Romero this year. He's gone forward when perhaps he should have stayed at home.
No, I'm not being funny, Adrian. I'm not being funny now, Adrian. When Romero is fit again, I don't want to see him just walk back. He's got to earn his spot back in the team. Because I believe that Davis and Dragusin have done more than a good job.
Well, one of them's going to have to stand aside because he's better on the ball and he progresses.
I don't care about that, Adrian. I don't care about that. He's got to earn his spot in the team, not just walk back in.
Well, they defended well today, but they weren't good at progressing us up the field. They were hitting out balls from Dragusin. Davis weren't hitting long balls. And a couple of them did get out to the wings in there. You know, I mean, but like, you need if to push yourself up the field, you need a centre back. One of them's got to take command. When VDV's playing alongside Romero, he don't try offing them great big long balls. He's always looking to see where Romero.
There
Do you think Adrian's partly because I saw Romero do this before he got injured, by the way, playing a few long balls. They get frustrated because our players are not moving, and it's like you're looking for a pass and you think, oh, where?
Well, you're at the ground, you see it as well. Sometimes when he's there, on television, people might say afterwards, oh, Romero's moving the ball too slowly. All right, and sometimes he's been guilty of that. And don't forget,
sometimes he does it.
They haven't got the line of sight. The players on the pitch as well, and a lot of the time there's no movement at all. There's no movement.
So I think they get fed up and they just play it long. Like Dragusin probably was looking round past someone. He got fed up.
Well, then this is where your midfielders should be coming to take the ball. They should want the ball. You've got to have a player in there that wants the ball all the time. Someone who is a bit more, doesn't have to be a leader, but a midfield general type who wants the ball.
We don't have that. Apart from Bentancur, I don't think we have that sort of player. But
we haven't.
Can I just answer this? Tom, I've been saying this on air for weeks and weeks. Porro was a winger as a youth player. Sporting moved him to right wing back. He isn't the right back. I've been saying, well, both of them are. Because Udogie on the other side was brought in for Conte as a wing back. They are not fullbacks.
It's just, I mean, like, I mean, when he first came, his defending away at Newcastle and Leicester was abysmal, right? But after that, he improved. I mean, like, I don't get when defenders aren't constantly looking over their shoulder and looking around or getting goal side at certain times during the game. And you've got to time your runs. You know, and if a player's going on a run, then it's the intelligent awareness of the players around you. If someone's doing a run like that, you're a centre-back, then, like, okay, just shift a few yards to the right because Porro's gone marauding down the right-hand side. Where's the intelligent awareness? I don't know what they do.
Oh.
What tactical and analysis they do, right? Well, yeah.
Fair play. I didn't know that. I thought he was a left wing back.
Oh, you dog is much better.
Amazing.
He might not have been on his game this season, but he's much better defensively than Porro is. He's got bite and power. I mean, Porro's got all the power going forward, but like, I'd rather have Porro tackle me than your doggy. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I agree with this as well. In the wrong position, yeah.
Guys, do you think that we don't know what's going on the training ground. This is the thing. If it's true, if they're doing all the double sessions like Poch did, do you remember when Poch had to ease off on the double sessions?
Yeah.
Players would get red zone. Do you think these players are overtrained and it's part of their fatigue problem?
Well, can you remember Conte when they were throwing up out in Britain, Korea?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know, do we? We're in like unknown territory.
I think it's the style of football, personally. But
yeah, it is. It's all them lung busting runs to get back from the halfway line.
I'm not against the high level of fitness. The amount of games we've won in the last 15 minutes or in injury time and scored 2 or 3 goals on the spin. No, I'm all right for the fitness levels, providing the players aren't getting injured. But we have got a science team and all that. But now, I mean, we've got a few out, haven't we? I mean, like, all right, Romero might be back.
How did Victoria get injured? Does anyone know?
Ankle.
Yeah,
He looked like his legs spread, and then maybe he did something. I thought he hurt his groin, but
didn't someone stand it? No one stood on his foot then, no, from a corner or nothing like that.
I don't think so. It looked like he leaned in to try to stop a ball or something like that, and I think he just overextended himself or something like that.
No, is Alan outside with them bloody palm trees again?
Oh yeah, my palm trees behind me. Yes, I'm trying to get around the sun because the sun is at a certain point. I'm like trying to get around it.
Yeah.
and on that subject, I mean, this guy's
not jealous or nothing.
How good's this guy been since he's come in?
To be honest, he's actually done all right considering the circumstances.
He's done all right. He must have been really good. Do you know what I mean?
And no, what I'm saying is, like, for example, today I didn't notice one mistake because he kicked it out and it went straight to a Fulham player, and I was like, oh no. Yeah. But this because Forster's been asked to do something he's not good at. Like, he should be playing it long.
Kicking's not his strong point, is it?
Yeah.
Lloris was terrible.
Oh, he was awful, wasn't he? Yeah.
Couldn't kick. He just couldn't kick Lloris.
Well, yeah. Well, when Lloris kicked out, it was take your pick where it ended up. It was normally in the stand somewhere.
Yeah, I just think if we had the energetic players to come in, and even if it means, if Basuma dropped off form, I would put Gray in there, right in the back there, straight away, right? Because I think he can do that job.
Didn't he come up injured? Or am I wrong?
He got a dead leg.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, because I couldn't tell. I just saw him come off.
Bit of a dead leg, and then said he'd be okay.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Solanke was ill when he turned up this morning. They sent him home.
He was ill.
Flu or something.
Yeah, it was a virus.
Flu,
it said on the thing it's a virus.
Might
but
be
that
more
could mean anything.
And because his virus is a bit longer than you start thinking, well, he might have got COVID or long COVID or something.
Yeah.
No, dear.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's recoverable stuff. Then you got Richarlison's made of glass, and then
I don't know how great our medical team is either, to be honest. We always seem to have long injuries. We don't have these quick, they're back. I don't know.
Very odd about he came back and I played for 5 minutes and he got injured again.
Yeah.
He'll be back in the new year.
Was it?
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
Was it?
Solomon, who got 2 assists for Son and up 5-2 away game when Burnley, when Son got that hat-trick. He banged
No.
it. Was for
I
Leeds.
don't know. I don't know how true this is.
24-3.
I honestly don't know how true this is. But wasn't some of our medical staff like subbed out? They were like subbies that was in there. Like you
Sorry?
probably know more.
I don't know.
They were what? Sorry.
Sort of subbies. You know when you sort of subcontract like the work out.
No, Mark, you actually are correct, but not.
Yeah.
I think on the pitch. I'm not doing it for them, but I think it's some other staff, medical staff in the stadium. Because ironically, you say that to me because someone I do a podcast with, his dad was like, or stepdad, sorry, was involved. He got asked to do it, but because he lived so far, he didn't want to do it on match days. It was the pay was like all right. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it's not to do with the staff as in they come on the pitch for the players. It was just staff in general, I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because there was rumours of that a couple of years ago.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Alan, what did you think of Sarr? Because I thought at least he showed some discipline. You didn't see him charging over the halfway line and all that. Like,
No, he did well. I thought Popstar put in a performance. I thought he did well today. He's so underrated. I think he kind of flies under the radar. Yeah, definitely Richie has to go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Richie's value has so greatly diminished that I don't know what we're going to get back for him.
30 pence. 30 pence, I've heard.
Can we try and send him back to Everton and do a swap for like Brantford or something? I don't know.
Right. Send him back to Everton.
you got to sell him to the Middle East, haven't you?
Yeah, that's what we got to do.
They didn't want to grow. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but Sarr was solid. I think Sarr's he's much more consistent a player than we're used to. I think we're such a team of inconsistencies. You know, we have some of the most goals, yet I think our front three overall is some of the weakest in the Premier League. Just in general, but for some reason we have a lot of goals, and I think today, like I know Josh was saying that he would have put Kulu in for Sarr, but to be honest, they're very different players. They don't play the same game, and if Basuma is going to disappear,
what we don't know as well is Kulu in the red zone? How many games has he played?
He needed a rest today, I think.
He needed a rest. He really needed a rest.
That's why when
he had a slight knock when he was brought on. You know, this is what we haven't got the dynamic midfielder to bring in. If it's back to last season, you'd be bringing on Højbjerg, wouldn't you? Not the answer.
Yep.
Not the answer.
100%. Or Skip, I guess. Yeah.
Someone who can move the ball quicker with a better passing range, you know. And they are out there, dynamic types, and we're going to have to wait and see.
But, Adrian, when you mean a dynamic midfielder, if I'm asking, what do you mean? Do we need like someone to carry the ball, like a ball carrier? Do we need someone to spread the play? Because we've got that with Maddison, I think.
I think
ball carriers, ball carriers. What do you mean? Sorry.
I'm thinking more of a dynamic central midfielder. I mean, back in the days, you would talk about holding players, central midfielders, and attacking midfielders. You know, I'm thinking someone more of a central because it's in the centre of the park where the biggest holes come. I mean, like earlier, they charge for our midfielders sometimes. You shouldn't be able to do that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it could be a cross. I mean, interesting when Vuskovic comes in because he can play as a number 6 as well, centre back. And he's looking at generational talent, but he's young. He's going to be 18 when he comes in. But then you've got a choice of him and Gray to do that job, and that's if we don't. The thing is, though, we don't know what the transfer policy is. Obviously, the left back is critical. You've got to have cover for your doggy, right? And they talk about giving Davis an extension, but fine, I get that because he's played well recently, but it's not exactly a decision for the future, giving Davis another. I mean, you could.
The only thing, Adrian, is, and this is someone who's not massive Davis fan, but he actually has done well when he's come in.
Yeah, he has.
Like the reason why I think they might give it to him is
Yes, we've had a lot of players that have done well when their contracts are up for renewal, right? Once you've got
It's a whole lot less expensive.
yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is because we need a left back, I think, more than a left centre back.
Yeah.
If we're going to put Davies as the cover there, at least we go out and sign a left back who's actually going to play.
Unless we get in
fullbacks who's going to play.
he plays with Jonathan Tarr out in Leverkusen because he can play at left back as well, right? I mean, he's 24, but he's.
And if Romero's leaving, we're going to need to sign a centre back as well. So we can't really go into
Jonathan,
the summer
go
or
and get
January.
Tarr,
We're
get
needing
both.
2 centre backs,
Germany.
1 or 2 fullbacks. That's like a whole new back line. They'll probably need to sign a left back.
And I'm all for that. You know, I mean, like when all our other players are on long contracts, right? Even Porro's 28 up to 2028, right? If Real Madrid want him, you're going to deal with leaving 90 million and take him, right? But Romero, he's down to 2 years. If he starts thinking he's bigger than the club and all that, like any players have done in the past, sell him. Sell him.
Yeah.
We've got.
I agree.
Yeah.
Postecoglou did say, right? This was before we had the injury problems with VDV and Romero and all that back. He said, although he had Dragerson, everyone was talking about a false centre back. You remember months ago, and he said, I don't want to block the path of Ashley Phillips or Vuskovic. So he must like the look of them, right?
There you go.
Say that.
Yeah.
Are they the answer?
Yeah.
Well, Ashley Phillips is 6'4", he's brick like an outhouse, right? And he's
But they're unproven. Again, Adrian, it's like
I think
it's
Dorothy
like unproven.
better on the ball, but
Yeah.
he's done his injury, and this season his form for the under-21s is
Yeah.
not great. Not been
Let's
that
see how they
great.
do first team football though, really, in the Premier League. To
Yeah.
make it
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than saying they're going to make
Ruskovic
it.
started with a lower level league, went to another league, went to the Polish league. Now he's took a step up another tier into the Belgian league with Alfie Devine, who scored a couple of goals the other day, right? In their
Mr. Daigle will be pleased. That's his boy.
Yeah, that's his boy.
And
That's his boy.
he's a good player, but he's another sort of 10. Like it's where you're going to fit all these players in. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll make money on some of these, and hopefully that'll provide funds to get in other players.
Yeah. Well, probably more youngsters, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, but we've got 11 under 24.
But there we
Give
go.
Werner another year.
Yeah. Oh,
And it's the reason, like, look, we've only got 23-man squad for the Europa Cup.
yeah.
Right? Spence couldn't get in it, right? So it's a good job now that Falster was in that group. You know what I mean? Because, like, but
Who was the other two? So
mind you, you could bring Spence.
It's the youngsters. It's the youngsters.
If you
Austin.
could put Spence.
Austin's one of them. And who's the other young keeper?
Alfie White.
Alfie Whiteman.
Yeah. So that's the four. That's the four keepers we got in there.
Didn't Foster go down today with an injury? I thought it was injured.
When you have to enter Europa League squad, you could take. Mind you, might have been promised a place. You could take Bergvall out if you don't get much game time. You know, and then put Spence in to make it up. But we'll see. I don't know the rules go, you see, because
that's spot on. That this comment here is spot on.
Yeah,
absolutely spot on. It was confusing, David, to say
But
the
it didn't
least.
surprise me because against Ipswich, we were playing it around the back. We need to score a goal. They just
yeah.
didn't want to lump it forward. They were just playing around the back. So
It was surprising. It was just a dreadful day. You know, it's the life of being a Spurs fan. You know, I mean, to be honest, it makes last week against City when we were on top of the world almost pointless.
I'll
This
take
is why
it for Falster
get
for man of the match.
overexcited.
Falster, guys, is it Fraser Falster for this guy?
Star maybe.
I think maybe Ben Davies. Ben Davies could be up there.
Yeah,
Dragusin.
and Star. That'd be the four. Star, Dragusin, Ben Davies. Which told you they're all like.
Defender.
Well, yeah. Personally, I'd like to give it to Ben Davies because I've stuck up for him ever since I've been on this show. He's like Mr. Average. He's not brilliant. He's not crap, but he's Mr. 6 out of 10 every time he's in there.
Yeah, he's something that we lack, which is consistent.
Yeah, he is. He is Mr. Consistent. He's never.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we win a game, like you never say, "Oh, Ben Davies, he was like 8, 9 out of 10." But on the other hand, he's never 3 out of 10. You know, you never ever turn around and say, "Oh, bloody Ben Davies was awful today." You know what the hell's he playing?
My dad really hates Ben Davies. Just
No.
Like, literally, like since Davies joined, I'm not joking. Like whenever he passes back, he's like bloody Ben Davies. I really doesn't like him. Like, so you guys will have a good argument.
And so I shan't be having a beer with your dad then.
Yeah, it's not arguing about Ben Davies probably for like.
Yeah. And so if I ever meet him in the bricklayers or something.
Yeah. See, for me, it was, you remember when Eric Dyer went into defence? I was the one, like, I was fuming at Dyer every game. And then Dyer and Davies plays a combo, remember? So he'd have me shouting at Dyer and then him shouting at Davies. It was that bad. Like, it was horrific. So, yeah.
We didn't pick up any yellow cards yesterday. This is the fixture list for what's known. Tomorrow, you may be interested in knowing. We'll come back to the fixture list in just a second. The draw for the third round of the season's Emirates FA Cup will be made on Monday evening, September 7th. Spurs are ball number 40. That's tomorrow.
Wow.
What time is it?
It's going to be. Is there a game tomorrow, Mark? Check your phone.
It can't be an FA Cup game.
Don't think so, because the football this week.
They're doing the draw. They normally do it when there's a game. It's Monday night football tomorrow.
I'm just looking now. Monday.
I mean, there's NFL football.
No, there isn't. There's no football tomorrow.
No, because this week in the UK, I believe there's football Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it's all on Amazon Prime.
Find out the time, Mark. Find out the time for the draw. I bet it's about. It's got to be 8 o'clock onwards, right? This time, sure.
That's a hell of a December we got.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's 8. Bournemouth, Chelsea 2, Rangers 3, and that's in the Europa League.
Wednesday FA Cup round draw, the FA.com, let's see.
It's the 11th of January.
7 p.m.
Tomorrow.
7 p.m. UK time.
And you're right, we are number 40. Yeah, you are.
And so, well, it's on BBC 2. It just says here. Thank you, Google.
But that Saints game on the Sunday, that's a 7 o'clock in the evening kickoff for fans that are travelling. That's a joke.
That'll be the easiest game we've got, I think.
Well, hang on a minute. It's away from home.
And yeah, I know.
It's away from home, Alan.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Yeah.
And normally at Christmas, look, Sunday the 20th, well, Forest away, Sunday the 26th, right? Boxing Day, right? Normally it was always traditional when I was a kid that you played like London derbies over Christmas period, so you didn't have to travel. You know.
Oh, did they used to do that, Adrian? They used to put
Well, we're not. Well, I can remember us playing.
You didn't travel that far.
No. I can remember us playing like an Ipswich or a Portsmouth or something that's not a million miles away. Yeah.
But you wouldn't go to Newcastle or Sunderland.
No. They like Boxing Day, especially. They used to sort you out, sort of especially for Tottenham, a localish. It was never like Arsenal or nothing like that, but like it was always a localish one, sort of Norwich, Ipswich, maybe Portsmouth at a push.
It kind of showed they cared about the well-being of the players more.
No, they couldn't give a monkeys anymore.
No, I'm saying back then because you told me they tried to put it nearer to.
Yeah. That was always the case. Even if you get down to the levels of my local team, it was always a team around here they would play. You know, not too far away.
This is why I think football in general has kind of gone downhill in quality, because we have more games, but because there's more games, the players have less rest times, and they just, that's why the quality's gone down as well. And
right. I'll just catch up with the chat, Adrian.
Yeah, go and catch up with the chat.
Yeah, Sarr, I was going to say about Sarr right now, when this channel first started, I just said he ran about a lot and didn't do a lot. But this season he is showing. This season he's showing qualities.
Have any of you... Oh, wrong guy. Oh, well, you're going for the chat, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just flicking through the chat, Adrian.
So I'll delete all my things while you're doing that, because it keeps...
Oh,
tidy.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, David. Yeah, Brent properly. It was a shame that it was his errant pass that eventually led. Yeah, but it's like I said, he's that 6 out of 10 player.
Carp fishing.
Why don't you talk about carp? I'm not really a carp fisherman, my man. I've caught them on a fly rod. That's good fun catching them on a fly rod.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah.
Desire and ability to actually hold the ball up. Yeah, definitely.
But this is
Definitely.
why Ange's first 10 games, Son worked because Maddison was spreading balls to him on the floor. Like it was working in 10 games in that respect. Maddison today, I don't know what it was. Like I have my theories, but I just don't think he's playing high pitch enough to play Son in. Like I just don't think.
I like us to get this guy in.
I don't know.
Never heard of him. Is that someone else I got to Google? I got to do an Eric Dyer on?
No. Well,
Danny Rose.
Yeah, I'll say it. That's who I meant. Danny Rose.
Yeah.
Do a Danny Rose on him.
Would we play him though? He's only 20, so I don't know.
He's too old, isn't he?
No.
He's too old to come into this team. You got to be a minimum. You got to be a maximum of like 16 or something.
He won't be at Lecce after the summer transfer window. He'll be gone, and I reckon he'll go for about at least 30 mil.
That's not bad, to be fair.
I've seen him. This guy I like. I know he's played for England. When I watched the video of him,
and
what I like about him is that when you talk about Romero or Alderweireld pinging them angled balls, when I've seen him in his videos, he's got good vision. He's quick to see the pass, and he can really ping a long angled ball. And I thought you'd be perfect with our wingers, like in there.
I'm not being funny, Adrian. I'd look good on a YouTube video.
Yeah, I know. There's more to it than that when you're looking at videos, Mark. I mean,
well, no, but like anybody. I mean, can you remember when we signed Soldado? He looked magnificent.
Well, yeah, but I didn't look at Soldado on a video back then.
I did.
And it depends what you look for. I mean, I'm looking for players with vision, who've got pace, who can
Yeah.
Well, it's not just like, you know, if he's a goal scorer or whether he's scoring tap-ins or whether he can make things happen for himself. Defenders, you know, play, intelligence, awareness, you know, see what they're like, things like that. I like the look of this player. I mean, and he's out of his contract now in France. He's in France. I think he was at Man U, wasn't he, at one time, or one of them clubs?
I think it was United.
And he left at about 20 or something.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I recognise this. Yeah, Angel Gomez. Yeah, I recognise that name.
Just recently, and I haven't been following England, so I haven't watched him on that. But go watch his. If you see him, go watch a video of him. You'll find him. I usually use Brazil Scout, but it might not be. I mean, if they're on Brazil Scout, I go there. If they're not, I'll go to other ones. Like, you know, but he looks a good player. This guy, I mean, this is a complex deal with a Celso. Even if we don't buy him, they sell him as part of the Celso's mad deal. Plays for the jolly old US of A.
Do you know anything about him, Alan?
I've seen him play. He's pretty good. I don't know too much else about him. I've seen him a couple of times. Personally, I wish we would pick up who's the American that was on Fulham that we just played against?
Robertson.
Robinson.
He looked good.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked good. I rate him.
Yeah.
I
This is
thought that really good today, actually. Fulham.
Yeah, this is a fair comment here as well. Oh, no. Hang on.
Not again.
That's a fair comment there, mate. We linked Wednesday just before the season.
I wanted everyone left back in the last window.
Yeah.
But
No. But if you ever noticed, Adrian, we're always linked with a top signing just before you got a cough up for your season ticket, and then as soon as the season ticket deadline is done, all these rumours they go away very quietly.
Left back's more important than his own.
It's always the way though. We're linked with some world superclass superstar, right? Yeah, this is when
always.
This is when the season tickets.
I doubt we'll go for Eze. Even if it's on the H and all that, you said we weren't even in for him in the first place.
This is when the season tickets are up for renewal. But as soon as that deadline passes, when you've all had to do it, right, those rumours sort of drift away.
We'll wait till Crystal Palace gets relegated, and then we'll go in for cheap. For
Yeah,
editing.
Well, wait, to me,
Not much.
it's like, as Ange said, I make him right on that. Wait and see what shape the squad is in come the beginning of the January transfer window, because barring injuries and whatever, then you've got to prioritise. But I still think the first priority still has to be a left back, because it's not going to be Spence at left back, because that's not his natural position.
He did
And
put him there though.
Boogie
before.
there. Yeah, but it's not. Again, it's like, and we don't even know if Spence can defend, do we? Who's seen enough of him? I haven't.
This is what
He's
I
never
mean.
gotten a chance.
Going forward, that's why I need to see more of Bergvall. I like what I've seen of the player when he's been in other leagues, but like, can he do it for 90 minutes? Just to say this to Mark about when we brought them in. Now, Gray looks oven ready. He does, because he's played in free position, not letting anyone down. So he can hold the position. We know he's okay for the Premier League. It's a question where Ange eventually chooses to play him. If we got rid of Basuma, I'd play Gray instead.
This is something you've got to pick up on as well, Adrian.
Yeah.
Sandro.
No, I
Yeah.
love Sandro. He was one of my favourite.
Did you see Josh Keeley's goal for Orient?
No.
He come out a goal, he headed the winner. Well, headed the equaliser, and they got a late goal, and they didn't even go to penalties. Orient got through. So he went up, the goalkeeper came out and headed one in. Nice header and all when you go and see it. You'll find it easy enough. Yeah. Yeah, Sandro's 35 now. I would have thought he'd been older, but he isn't.
No.
Because I think, didn't he need
You
trouble?
see, it seems like he was around ages ago.
That might be wrong. It might be 45.
Sandro was here in like 2010, wasn't he?
It might be
2010.
45.
Yeah. Well, it could be.
We're going to have to
Like,
wait and
must be
see,
35
David,
now.
who we get. But if it isn't Dorgu, or I like,
That's true as well. That's true as well.
but he's got. I mean, we'll see how the team goes. We're not in a disaster position. You know, only 3 points off top four and in 3 cups, so it's not bad. And I don't think anyone in the right man thought we were going to win the league anyway. So, you know,
Ange did.
Without winning the Europa League. So
Ange did, Adrian. He said he wanted a title charge this year.
yeah, he said he wanted to have a go at trying to win the title this year. Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, well, there we go. So he was one that thought.
They interpret it as, see, this is the thing I don't like, when people don't give the full quotes and they deliberately mislead by not quoting. When you're going to quote things like that to me, show me the inverted commas of the exact words he said, and in the context he says things like. The only thing I want to hear out of press conferences is like our injury problems, whether everyone's fit, blah blah, and that's about it. Because the rest of it is just bollocks.
He is only 35, Adrian. Sandro. He is
Do you
only
think there's a
35.
job pass at DM for like the season? Or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring him back just for like.
Yeah. Sign him up. We could do with a DM.
I'd take Bale back. Hell.
We'll be going for 2 hours 12. Have you done all the
Oh,
comments?
no, Bell's retired now, hasn't he? I think.
Yeah. He's playing golf now, Gareth Bale.
He does punditry sometimes as well. I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever there's
He needs the money.
cool. Blimmin' hell, Adrian, you made me cough, huh? No, whenever there's a big golf event in America,
I've
like
noticed.
on the PGA Tour,
You know,
Bell's always
Mark's
there.
gone very Welsh lately. Davies, Bale, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, well, Wales is only up the road from me. Well,
Johnson.
a little bit, yeah, JDL and all that.
Right,
No.
guys, we're going to. I'll see you guys in the back room. We're going for 2 hours 13. We're waffling on a bit now. We can do that in the back room, right? I want to thank all the guests for coming on. That's Josh as well. I know he's not here. You all know you are. And I want to thank everyone in the chat for their comments and those for sticking with us.
Shall I get? Hang on a minute.
Put
Hang on.
Alan's thing up.
Yeah. Hang on. Well, I did star it, but no one can click on that. Oh, no, I don't think. No one can. Let's go back to the beginning. Where are we? That one. If you can sub to that as well, please.
Up to Alan.
Please.
It's right at the top of the chat.
Team
Where's
Tottenham guys.
have we got his somewhere? We haven't, have we?
I can cut if you want to waffle for another 2 minutes. I can get it.
Go and get it.
Team Tottenham go.
This was
Team
Josh's
Tottenham
earlier
go.
on. You in the chat or those watching on playback. It's Josh Sharabi's YouTube channel. So this is Alan's YouTube channel.
Where are we?
Now I can delete them, right? No, I don't free it up because otherwise it clogs up everything. All right, first, we can get it out of the way here. Oops. Where did that come from? Right, anyway. If it's not, it's maybe you have to. I'll leave them then. Maybe you have to unstar them. I don't know.
1 more minute, Adrian. Keep waffling.
Did we talk to you about the red card?
No,
Yeah,
I
we
was in the
did,
chat
didn't we?
though when you
Not
were
as,
talking
yeah.
about it.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it was a red card personally. Yeah.
I wasn't sure at the time. I'm up that height, like so, and
No.
I'm looking
When it
down
shows
more
the
on
screen-
Decky with a player coming in from by the side of him, you know. So
Right, here we go. Da-da-da.
shit.
Da-da-da. Right, no. I'll go right to the bloody bottom again now.
Oh, it's in the group chat. There we go.
I put in the private chat because it's easy for you.
Yeah.
Well, I've done it now.
Okay.
Somewhere. I think, no.
Posted it.
Where did I posted it? Hang on.
Just copy it out of the private chat with your mouse. Stick it in the chat.
There we go. There we go. There we are.
Thanks.
There we
If
are.
you want mine. Oh, it's in there again. I didn't see it.
You put it twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's just
Oh, okay.
it's oldness and stupidness.
Right. And so, right, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you all, everyone involved, all those watching on playback. No, I'm not going to end the stream. I will after. You.
We're still live.
Are we?
What?
Hang on. There you go.
It says play.